Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana with our Explore the Card episode number 27. Today we are talking about a way off the radar, super low pop card. Although it's not an impossible pack pull, it's a super low pop card in gem mint condition. It's the 1998 Finest Hardwood Honors, which you can see on your screen here. I've got you over on picture-in-picture. Hopefully this comes through nice and clear so you guys can see it. A 1998 Finest, a little bit of a forgotten set. We're going to talk a little bit about the set, and then we'll talk about the card. It's not in Card Ladder, so I'm not going to be able to provide you with a fancy table showing the pop and the price and the last 6 months and all that, but we will get into Card Ladder, and we'll get to use their sales history feature that came with Card Ladder 2.0, which really changed the game and resulted in Card Ladder being my data pricing tool and research, really honestly just hobby research tool of choice. Anyway, buckle up, here we go. As always, we're going to start by looking at the set that this card originates from. It is an insert set that comes from 1998 Finest. 1998 Finest, as you can see on your screen here, is a 250 card set. Finest is one of the more highly acclaimed, highly sought after, well-respected Topps products from the 90s. 1993 Finest was the first year, and that 1993 Finest set features Jordan's first refractor ever, which also was the very first card that I featured on this series called Explore the Card, where we looked at that 1993 Finest refractor. Big card, big set, big change to the hobby. It's when shiny became very important. And that 1993 Finest set started it all with Jordan's first refractor. But we're talking about the 1998 Finest set, 250 card set. The big rookies from this 1998 Finest set are obviously going to be Vince, Dirk, and Pierce. That's no surprise to anybody, but all of those three guys, first ballot Hall of Famers. Vince did not get his title, but man, his place in history is solidified. He's a huge collectible Hall of Fame player in the hobby. So many people collected Vince because he was going to be the next Jordan. Dirk, first ballot Hall of Famer. Pierce, first ballot Hall of Famer. Dirk is beloved. Pierce, not so much for lots of different reasons, but three absolute all-time greats, clear-cut Hall of Famers, and great guys to watch in the late 80s and into the 2000s, and Vince into the 2020s, which is just nuts to think about. And now he's a phenomenal sportscaster on TV. But all three of those guys were looking up at Michael Olowokandi from the great College of Pacific, the workout wonder who was drafted number 1 and never really truly panned out in the hobby. Mike Bibby, LaFrance, and Jameson were also three really good NBA players that were rookies in that 1998 class. They were probably super hot right about when this product was released. All three great players that had very good careers. Jameson was obviously involved in that draft day trade with one of his best friends and college teammates, Vince Carter. That was one of my favorite North Carolina teams ever to watch. And so shout out to Justin, 610 Sports Cards. I know he's a big North Carolina fan. I'm sure he was a huge fan of that 1998 North Carolina team as well. The Jordan base card in this set is card number 81. Let's see if I can pull that up on your screen just so you guys get an idea of what it looks like. Let's scroll down here, and this is his base card. And there it is. And so that's what Jordan's base card looks like with the protective peel on it. You can see the words, Topps protector, please remove peel, remove coating, whatever is listed over there, running vertically on the card on the left-hand side of the card. Really good looking card. That base card in PSA 10, depending on whether it has coating or doesn't, sells from anywhere from $120 to $200 as a PSA 10, depending on whether the coating is on there or has been peeled. So a pretty good size base card, just like Topps Chrome. Base cards are probably pretty big in PSA 10. You're always going to pay a little bit more than normal. Most of these are pushing 200 rather than the 120 number. In this beautiful 1998 Finest set, we have 10 insert sets, which I've got shared on your screen. That's a beautiful thing about tradingcarddatabase.com is that it also provides you the pack odds and what series packs they came from. The 90s packs were a little bit more confusing. There's Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, whatever. These cards came in the 1998 Finest, and here's the different inserts. There's 10 of them in here. The more notable that you're going to see on your screen are going to be Arena Stars, which you guys are probably familiar with, Centurion, which also came in a refractor insert, so a parallel insert refractor version, Hardwood Honors, which we're we're going to talk about today, and then Mystery Finest, which was the really cool one where you didn't know who was on the card until you removed the black deal that covered the card up. And those also came in a refractor parallel insert version as well, and you can see their pack odds right there. So the Hardwood Honors were inserted one, as you can see right here. We've got it pulled up, one in 33 Series 1 packs, but there's a whopping 20 players in the insert set for Hardwood Honors, which means the Michael Jordan card is a 1 in 660 Series 1 packs. That's the pack odds for this Michael Jordan Hardwood Honors card that we're looking at today right here. There's 11 of the 20 players in here are Hall of Famers. You know, we always like to look at these insert sets. Are they collectible? Is this a set that you'd like to kind of put together in PSA 10, PSA 9, or just a raw condition? A lot of great raw insert set collectors out there in the 90s, and I think that number's growing. I'm seeing a lot more time and effort and a lot more pictures on Instagram and Facebook devoted to putting together raw insert sets from the 90s. And so, the more Hall of Famers, the better. The fewer number of players, the easier, usually, depending on your price point. But 11 of these 20 players included in this set are Hall of Famers. Michael Jordan, as you can see, is card number 1. We've looked at that card. That's what it looks like in raw condition. And on this one, the coating is, the verbiage on the coating is on the right. And it's even telling you to take the coating off. So I've always been a peel guy. I would rather the card without the coating because I think it pops. It looks better. That's just my opinion. But again, that's another topic for another day, and it's often disputed and argued about in the hobby. The card comes with that coating that you can take on or leave on or take off. Either way, it's totally up to you. Some of the imposters, we always look at the imposters in these insert sets and wonder, how did these guys sneak in? Alan Henderson is one of them, a great player at Indiana, but similar to Calbert Chaney. His NBA career, Alan Henderson's did not really flourish in the NBA, had a couple of decent years with the Atlanta Hawks. And then another imposter is Jason Williams, who could rebound the heck out of the ball, but unfortunately he murdered his butler. So we're not talking about Jason Williams, White Chocolate, who was so fun to watch for the Magic and for the Sacramento Kings. We're talking about the Jason Williams, Jayson, who murdered his butler and in a very, very bizarre incident. One of the more likable players in the NBA, but mercurial to say the least, and clearly unpredictable and not necessarily balanced. Anyway, killed his butler and no longer rebounded the ball in the NBA. So, interesting story. If you don't know about it, go Google it. I'm old, so I remember it. Let's talk about the card itself. Where was it? Here it is right here. Just a beautiful looking card, right? It's got that kind of, it's almost got like the Upper Deck holograms. Remember those came out right in the early years of Upper Deck in the background with a bunch of stars and basketballs behind Jordan. He's down in the defensive position. Even, in 1998 and the last year of his career, he was still nasty as a perimeter defender, especially when come playoff times when it mattered. He could always guard the other team's best perimeter player, even in his later years. Of course, he usually deferred to Ron Harper and Pippen to do all of that dirty work so he can conserve a little bit of his energy. But during the prime of his career, he took on anybody and everybody and guarded both ends of the floor. But just a really, really good looking card. I've got it pulled up here on Card Ladder, so I don't have your fancy table that I can normally give you a real digestible breakdown of the pop report and the prices. But in Card Ladder, I've gone into the sales history feature over here on the left side of your screen. Hopefully you guys can see that. There's a little, looks like a little cash register icon right here on your screen where my cursor is. And then in this search engine, you just I typed in 1998 Hardwood Honors, and it's going to pull up all the Jordans. The first one that it's going to pull up in the most recent sale was actually a PSA 10. And so there we go. There's our record-setting PSA 10 sale for $5,800. If you keep scrolling back, you'll see this card does not appear in the wild very often. I've got it sorted by price, but let's switch this over. Let's switch this over and sort it by date. And so the most recent one here, we've got a $260. That's raw. That's raw. We've got a CSG 8, believe it or not. That's baffling why someone would grade this card with CSG, just throwing money away. But you can see the raws are selling from $250 to $330. Here's a PSA 8 that sold in April for $390. Here is a gosh, I can't even tell what kind of grade that is. Well, let's click it. Let's see what it is. CGA. I don't know. Somebody's going to have to help me with that. Never heard of it. But we got another PSA 8 500. We got another PSA 8 477. So the PSA 8's pushing around 450, 460, 480, 500. Here's a PSA 8 from just a couple months ago, 464 with the coating on there. Again, this card specifically I would think would look better without the coating. But again, I'm biased. That's just what I like. I like the refractor nature of it. Just the way it pops without the coating. Here's a really good looking one. This is a PSA 8 where the coating has been removed, and you can see on your screen it just seems to shine a little bit better than if you leave the coating on. So anywhere, it looks like anywhere from $400 to $500 in a PSA 8 condition with or without the coating. Again, let's see if we can get a good picture of it with the coating on there. There it is right there. It's just a little more dull, right? The coating just takes off some of that luster and some of that shine and some of that pop, in my opinion. But again, some people think that the cards should be graded and encased in their original pack-pulled condition, and that's fine too. There's many ways to collect this hobby, and I'm not going to sit here and argue about it. But let's talk about the pop report. I've got the PSA pop report pulled up for our card number H1. This is, again, the 1998 finest Hardwood Honors. You can see without coating has been graded 51 times. With coating has been graded 29 times. Without coating, it's a pop 10. And with coating, it is a whopping pop 1. Comment below if you're the one. I'd really like to meet you. Again, 29 total graded is not very much. We've seen the raw ones. What did we say they were going for? About 350, 400, 450, something like that. I don't know what a PSA 10 would yield with the coating on. It is a pop 1, and that really means something when you're talking about Jordan cards. For those PSA set registry chasers, that can fetch you a huge number. But even then, only 9 PSA 9s with the coating on. So it looks like the majority of these cards grade PSA 8 or PSA 9 with the coating. And without the coating, same thing, PSA 8 or PSA 9. There's just been a few more, maybe a little bit less than twice as many graded without the coating as with the coating. What about Beckett? Beckett, there's been a total of 81 Jordans graded, and no BGS 10s, no black label 10s. There's been 9 BGS 9.5s, and then just like PSA, the majority of the cards in BGS slabs are going to be graded 30 and 28, and BGS does not distinguish between coating or no coating, so you're just going to have to guess on that. You're on your own. But that just kind of gives you a general idea of what the card's worth. Like I said, let's look up this card in PSA 10 in the sales history and see what comes up. As far as dates sold, one sold in February of 2021, so about 15 months ago, it sounds like, for $5,800. So that just gives you some idea of what a PSA 10 is worth. The last one before that was way back in 2020. Which is 28 months ago. It sold for $468. So that should give you some idea of just how bananas the Jordan market is and how much has changed over the last 2 years. You can go all the way back here and look at all these PSA 10s. Remember, there's only 10 of them without the coating. And so there's your numbers, 338, 213, 460, 468, and then bang, people finally realized, oh, this Jordan guy's pretty good. So $5,800 for the last PSA 10. For the BGS 9.5, let's see what we can find in the sales history for Card Ladder. The last one sold over, man, that's a long time ago. So that's almost 2 years ago was the last one, way down at 566. Another one here at 660, 303. So the BGS 9.5 has never sold for more than $566. Again, if you pick that card, I clicked it, I moved over here, and we're looking at that same exact card that sold November of 2020. If we tie it to the Michael Jordan Index, Card Ladder gives us an estimated, or a Card Ladder predicted value of $1,228. Again, it's got a low confidence meter, as you can see with this single bar here, because it's been so long since the card sold in this condition. So take that with a grain of salt, but about $1,200 for the BGS 9.5. And we see it's over 5,000 for the PSA 10. Again, small sample size. So take it for what it's worth and extrapolate it and make your own decisions. There are 20 combined gem copies, total gem copies out there, but with and without coating between PSA and BGS. 20, right? We see there's 11 in PSA, and in BGS there are 9. You add 11 and 9, and even in Louisiana, that comes out to 20. That is not very many gem copies of this card out there. So if you've got one, it's probably tucked away in your collection, nice, safe, and sound, unless you want $5,000. In which case you should go list it. How often does the card sell on the open market? As we saw, it's very tough to find this card. no gem card, no gem Hardwood Honors card has sold on the open market in the past 6 months, and only 2 have sold in the entire past year. So very, very difficult card to come across. Let's see what's on eBay. Let's say we want to go find the card. I've left out PSA, I've left out BGS. I just want to find the card in raw condition. So I've typed in 1998 Hardwood Honors Jordan. I get 4 results. It's a raw one with the peel for 202 with 9 days left and 6 bidders, 99.6% seller. I've got another raw one here for $3.99. Buy it now, 100% seller with 493 transactions. So quality listing there for $3.99. And then we've got, I don't know what that is. I'm not even going to count that one. So we've got a 7.5, a BGS 7.5 for $999.99. That strikes me as a little bit high for a 7.5. So it's not surprising that card's not moving, although it is a quality seller. And then this looks like the exact same one, if you ask me. I may be crazy, but yeah, and this happens a lot on eBay, and I'm not really sure why. It's a duplicative listing. So it says 4, but really it's 3. So that's what you get when you want to search for this card in any condition. You got a BGS 7, and then you got a bunch of raw, and then you got 2 raw ones. So 7.5 and then 2 raw ones. That's it. That's all you got to choose from. So if you run across this card, it's probably not a bad idea to snatch it up. If we search for boxes, and remember this card is 1 in 33 packs, 1 in 660 pack odds to pull the Michael Jordan Hardwood Honors with the coating. It's Series 1 only. So your first option here, it looks like we've got a pair of 1998 Series 1, Series 2 for $3,400. We've got a 1998 basketball Series 1 24-pack box for right at $1,000. We've got another one for just over $1,000 from Steel City, which is a reputable seller, of course. Another one for $974. Another one for $1,449. Another one for $924, $1,000, $1,400. So you're looking at right at $1,000, maybe shade less than $1,000, over $1,000 with taxes if you want to pick up one of these boxes and go Jordan chasing. And again, you're not guaranteed to pull a Hardwood Honors out of there because it looks like there's 24 packs in a Series 1 box. And remember, this is a 1 in 33 pack odds card, and there's 20 in there. So you might pull the Murderer, or you might pull Allen Henderson, but then again, you could pull Jordan. So it just depends on what kind of game you like to play and how you want to attack the hobby. I'm not a pack ripper, but if you want to, go for it. That's what's on eBay. What do I own and what do I grade? I don't own this card, so this is one of those rare situations where I do not own this card in any grade. I'm intrigued by it. It was actually a viewer of the channel that direct messaged me and said, "Hey, what's going on with this? It's Finest, which is a pretty big product. It's Hardwood Honors, and it features Jordan, but nobody ever talks about it." And so that's kind of one of the reasons that I'm even putting this playlist together and providing this content, is because I want to shed some light not only on the big dogs, not only on the Jambalaya and the 93 Finest Refractor and the Star 101 and Noise Boys and Hot Shots and all those inserts, but I want to shine a light on some of these less common inserts. Last week we featured the Flair Anticipation, not exactly way up on everybody's list. It's an affordable insert, and I think these affordable off the radar inserts, and again, $5,000 is a lot of money for a PSA 10, but you could pick the raw card up right now if you wanted it for $399. That's relatively affordable. People can make moves to pick cards up like that, even in this depressed little reset that we're experiencing in the hobby. So I like featuring little inserts like this, but I don't own one. Would I like to? I'm intrigued. Okay, so we'll say that I'm intrigued. Am I going to go out and buy one for $399 raw and send it to PSA? Probably not. In fact, no, I'm not. But I am intrigued. I will keep my eyes out. If I run across a PSA 9 or I see a PSA 10 that's a reasonable price, or a BGS 9.5, I would probably look at it. Again, my preference would be to get one without the coating, because I think they look better. And this would be a card that I would not be looking to buy and sell. This would be a card I'd be looking to fill that box on my Jordan collecting checklist that I've created. And so I would probably stash this one away in my PWCC vault and keep it in there and take a look at it, take some nice digital images of it, share it on Instagram, and enjoy the card that way. To each his own, right? So, is this card high, low, mid, high, or a grail value? The PSA 10, it looks like, has crossed that 5,000 threshold, or at least the last one did. So we're going to call a PSA 10 copy of this 1998 Hardwood Honors card. We're going to call that, PSA 10 version of this card a mid-level insert because it's between that $5,000 and $10,000 mark as far as what it would cost you. And we'll say the BGS 9.5 that you see on your screen, as well as the PSA 9, PSA 8, and BGS 9. Sorry, that should actually say BGS 9. Will all be in that low value, right? All of those are going to be well below $5,000 and very affordable, and really a beautiful Jordan that'd be nice to put in your collection. What cards is this card similar to? And I forgot to pull these up, but let's go up here and let's go to ladder. And it's similar in value to 3 cards. Number 1 is the 1997 Metal Universe Jordan base card. Believe it or not, this card right here, which we've got on our screen, so that card's right at $5,000 in value. You can see the last one sold for $5,500. It's a pop 123 card. What else is it similar to? It's similar to the 1997 frequent Flyers upgrade Jordan, which I am going to find at some point right here, and we're going to call it a PSA 10. We'll pull that one up on your screen, and I wish I could turn this for you, but I don't know how to do that. I'm not really fancy enough to do it, but that's it, right? Oops, that's it right there. This is a insert parallel, so the upgrade's a little more rare than the regular frequent Flyers Jordan card, and this has got those rounded die cuts around the corner, so it's almost like a credit card. But this is the 1997 Hoops Frequent Flyers. This card last sold for $4,700. Card ladder estimates it's worth about $5,000. So we're right on that number with that 98 Hardwood Honors. And this is a Pop 17 card, this upgrade in PSA 10 condition. So a much lower pop card there, almost on the same level as far as low population as the card we're looking at today, the Hardwood Honors. And then the last one that's around this price range of $5,000 for a PSA 10 is the 1997 Jordan Titanium PSA 10, which a lot of you guys are going to be familiar with. This card does tend to move inside the case, even with the protective plastic coating, which you can see it's supposed to hold it steady, but this one didn't. So this is a translucent card, a see-through card, an acetate type card. Yellowing is obviously the primary concern with these types of cards, and this card specifically. But PSA 10 of this card, which you're looking at on your screen, the 1997 Metal Universe Titanium, is about a $5,100 card, last sold in February. The Jordan Index has gone down a little bit, believe it or not, so it's about a $4,800 card now. So all 4 of those cards are about in the same price range. If you ask me which card that I want, I would honestly take the frequent Flyers upgrade that you're looking at on your screen first. That would be the first card that I would choose. The next card I would choose would be this Titanium. I would pick this one second. Again, remember, all these cards are about the same value, so I'm just looking at pop and just aesthetics and whatnot. And the next card would be, believe it or not, would be the Metal Universe base card, which I am lucky enough to own already. I would pick that card up just because I'm a huge fan of that 1997 Metal Universe set. I've got the base, I've got the PMG red. I'll probably have the PMG green in a couple of days. No, I'm just kidding. I was just checking to make sure, see if y'all were paying attention. I'll never have the PMG green, nor will anybody that I am friends with probably, unless we all put our net worths together and then go rob somebody anyway. And then lastly would probably be the card that we're featuring today, which is the Hardwood Honors. So that would be my order: frequent Flyers upgrade, Titanium, Metal Universe base, and then Hardwood Honors. On the Cajun cardboard scale of Jordan card relevance, I give this card a 4 out of 10. Again, it's kind of off the radar. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the card, but you got to rate the card somewhere where it belongs. And I'm trying to be objective here. I'm not just banging the card because I don't own a copy of it. I probably will own a copy at some point. Probably sooner rather than later, but this is a card that I would give a 4 out of 10 just because it's a little bit off the radar. It is affordable. I can go grab a copy anytime I want it, so it's not going to reach into that 8, 9, 10 range because it's not as recognizable, it's not as expensive, and the card itself is not as scarce, despite the fact that there is some grading scarcity that goes along with this card. But anyway, that's it, guys. So a nice little short episode today. Just wanted to feature a card that we don't see very often, the 1998 finest Hardwood Honors card. Hopefully that, that again, like I said, I'm taking requests. If you guys have an idea for episode number 28, a card that you like or that you know about that I haven't featured yet in any of these 27 episodes on Explore the Card, it does need to be a Jordan card because this is a Jordan feature where we feature a Jordan card every single Friday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Reach out to me and let me know if there's one you want to see in episode number 20. I'd be happy to look into it. I can't promise you, but I would be happy to look into it and try to put something together for you guys. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate appreciate all of you guys that have reached out to me with all the kind words on Instagram or Facebook and direct message, and even in the comments. Sometimes those are nice as well. I apologize for all the Hispanic porn comments. I try to delete them as fast as I can. I don't know why I'm a magnet for Hispanic porn advertisements in my YouTubes. Maybe other content creators have the same problem. Every time I hit it, I go to report spam and delete it. But if you guys run across those, I assure you those are not friends of mine commenting on my YouTube videos. It's just spam, and I don't know how they find me, but they found me. So anyway, keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, fellas, and peace.